Fishmans 98-12-28 Otoko Tachi no Wakari, and NumberGirl's Sapporo Omoi Day in My Head, Jotai. Today, these two records are increasingly regarded by discerning music listeners around the world as landmark Japanese live albums. At first glance, these two bands seem to have had almost no direct connection. Their main periods of activity barely overlap. And yet, one musician allows us to draw a clear line between them. Trumpeter Kazufumi Kodama, the former leader of Mute Beat. In this video, I will look at Kodama himself as the little-known link between these two bands and trace his relationship with each of them. Kazufumi Kodama was the trumpeter and leader of Mute Beat, a Japanese dub and reggae band active during the 1980s. Mute Beat is widely regarded as a group that developed Jamaican dub through a distinctly Japanese sensibility. Kodama's trumpet was especially distinctive. Rather than playing bright and decorative melodies, it seemed to drift through empty space, bringing loneliness and melancholy to the surface. In 1991, Kodama produced Fishmans' debut album Chappie Don't Cry. For many listeners outside Japan, Fishmans may be most closely associated with the psychedelic and weightless sound they developed from Kuchu Camp onward. But early Fishmans began from a much clearer foundation in reggae and rock steady. Kodama produced their very first album and stood beside them at the moment that journey began. In that sense, Kodama was there at the entrance to Fishmans' long musical transformation. 8 years later, in March 1999, Fishmans' vocalist Shinji Sato died. Sato had sung lead vocals and written most of the band's songs. His death brought a major period in the band's history to a close, and effectively ended Fishmans in the form it had existed until then. That same year, Kodama released Requiem Dub, his first new album in 7 years. The record is commonly understood as a requiem for musicians whom Kodama had admired or known personally. Shinji Sato is often named as one of those being mourned. And in May 1999, only 2 months after Sato's death, another band made its major label debut, NumberGirl. NumberGirl made their major label debut in May 1999. With their sharp guitars and urgent, tightly wound performances, they quickly attracted attention in Japan's alternative rock scene. For their second major label album, Sappuke, they brought in Dave Fridman, known for his work with the Flaming Lips and Tame Impala, as producer, recording engineer, and mixer. Their music began to move beyond the confines of straightforward guitar rock. Studio processing and elements of dub became increasingly audible. In 2002, they pushed those post-punk and dub elements even further on NUM-HEAVYMETALLIC, an album that recalls the pop group. That same year, NumberGirl broke up. During 2002, Kodama joined them on stage several times. At a July show at Akasaka Blitz roughly 4 months before the breakup, he appeared on 3 songs. His trumpet entered the band's hard-edged 4-piece sound with deep echo, adding space and depth to the music. It felt like more than a simple guest appearance. It seemed to symbolize the point where late-period NumberGirl's post-punk and dub impulses met. Fishmans and NumberGirl had little direct contact, and their main periods of activity barely overlapped. Today, however, both bands are internationally recognized in part through their highly acclaimed live albums. When we look back through Kodama's career, the two bands begin to form a single line. With Fishmans, Kodama stood at the beginning of a band whose starting point was reggae and rocksteady. With NumberGirl, he appeared at the culmination of a career that had begun to fuse rock and dub in its own way. There is also one striking coincidence. Akasaka Blitz, where Kodama appeared with NumberGirl near the end of their career, was also the final venue where Shinji Sato performed with Fishmans. Kazufumi Kodama was involved with two influential bands in different periods and in different roles. Requiem Dub, which he released in 1999, a turning point when the era of one band seemed to give way to that of the other, is an excellent work in its own right. A cold, solitary trumpet drifts through sparse tracks stripped down to the barest minimum, leaving vast spaces between the sounds. Featuring Bullwackie, founder of the New York dub label Wackies, the album resonates with the cutting-edge sound of Berlin dub techno, while remaining deeply marked by the distinctive melancholy and loneliness that had run through his music since the days of Mute Beat. It is a record unlike anything else in the world, a record that only Kazufumi Kodama could have made. As the human link between two great bands and as an essential figure in the history of Japanese reggae and dub, Kazufumi Kodama deserves to be much better known outside Japan. Thanks for watching.